So, hi everybody, Lubeltran here again. And on the last video, na pag-usapan natin doon yung premise for my startup. So, ang number one problem ko is the EV charging infrastructure in the Philippines, and at the same time, creating yung startup video on how to create a startup. Parang, you can think of this as a course. Okay. Now, ang primary premise natin is, ayun nga, I wanted to buy an electric vehicle, but the problem is where to charge. And even though meron na tayong idea or yung premise na I want to build the charging infrastructure first before I buy myself an EV para I can charge anywhere I want. Now, even though maganda yung premise, you don't need to be 100% concentrated on that problem. We still have to do some research. Kasi ang number one problem with startups is they want to, once they have this idea already, they go ahead 100%, 100% to that specific idea. They didn't evaluate kung yung idea ba nila is something that we can build a business on. So, very napaka-importante nun. Kasi even if you have this very amazing startup, but if you cannot build a business around it, paano siya kikita? The goal of a startup is to create a business. Okay? Solving problems. But if you are not solving a core problem, then you have a very big problem for your startup. Kasi it will not survive. It needs to have unang-una cash flow, users, verified stats. All of those are very critical for yung startup ninyo. So, what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to wing this series. So, kwan nito. How do I say this? It's going to be very live. There's no fluff. I'm going to show you the nitty-gritty stuff, not just the amazing things na usually nakikita nyo sa startup, like the pitching, the talking, the networking, but the actual back end. Ano yung mga paghihirap? Ano yung mga challenges na pagdadaanan ninyo? Ano yung mga problems na kailangan yung ayusin? And hopefully, we get to build yung incubator accelerator using this video series. So, ayan. So, let's start. Now, i-screen share ko lang yung computer ko sa inyo kasi I'm currently, yan, nandito yung computer ko sa harap. And I'm at my office right now. So, we need to evaluate yung problem natin. Now, I have opened 4 AIs right now. So, itong series na to will also be using AI. We have to leverage AI. And if you're not leveraging AI right now, you need to do so ASAP. Kasi AI is a very, very large multiplier ng efforts ninyo when building a startup. So, I cannot stress this enough. Kasi once you build your startup, AI can augment a lot of things, from the coding, from the design of the website, from the creation of yung minimum viable product ninyo, and so many more things. Kaya, if you're not still using AI, use it now. So, I have 4 AIs ngayon that is open on my desktop. So, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT. Now, etong mga kwan na to, etong mga accounts na to are all paid. Okay. So, I have a subscription of all of them. Alam niyo naman ako, medyo techie. And I want the best. Okay, yun lang naman para sa akin eh. I want the best. Large language models and AI. So, ayan, naka-pro ako for Perplexity, naka-pro din ako for Claude, naka-pro din ako for Google Gemini, and syempre, ChatGPT is naka-pro din ako. So, we need to evaluate yung problem natin with the EV charging infrastructure. So, I'm going to be doing a research, basically, of this problem. So, I'm going to load it on ChatGPT, and we're going to be enabling deep research. So, I'm going to be pasting the same prompt. What are the 10 biggest challenges of owning EV vehicles in the Philippines. And EV vehicles in the Philippines. So, ayan, let's just make it a very short prompt. Okay, wala na tayong well, let's try to improve this one. You are an expert topic researcher. Yeah. What are the 10 biggest challenges of owning EV vehicles in the Philippines? Okay, so we give it a premise. Okay? Or expert topic, dagdagan na natin to. Startup researcher. Okay? What are the 10 biggest challenges of owning EV vehicles in the Philippines right now? Yeah, right now. So we're going to be enabling this one. I do have a plugin that can actually improve this. So ilagin ko lang siya rito sa gilid. I'm sorry, hindi ko napapakita kasi you will see my account. And ayan. So let's try to improve this using AI also. Let's see. As of the current year, yan. So kailangan niya ng year. So let's put this as 2025. Yun, instructions. Begin by conducting a thorough review of existing literature, report studies, infrastructure, cost, range anxiety, maintenance, public awareness, market, and technological advancement. So, yeah. So, we're going to be loading that one in ChatGPT for research. Same then also with Google Gemini, deep research. Load that. And also load this in. So, we're going to be doing research. Yan. So research mode is on, extended thinking is on, so we're going to use Sonnet and also Perplexity. So that's on research. So while that is cooking with AI, I'm going to be going also to Facebook. And I need to know if the problem is really valid. So eto siya. So I joined a couple of communities in Facebook, mga Facebook groups about on EV charging and electric vehicles. So I joined this community, Philippine EV community, and I think marami pa tayong groups dyan. So let's just go with EV. Let's search. So marami pa tayong groups. Buy and sell EV cars. Sige, dyan, salihan natin yan. EV community in the Philippines. Yep. BYD EV owners in Metro Manila. BYD Tang. Chinese EV cars. BYD installer. So marami tayong pwedeng pag-joinan. The reason that I want to join these groups is I want to get some sort of sentiment kung ano and read the posts to see if yung problem ba natin really exists out there and it's worth solving and building a business on top of it. So yeah, I think nasa ko na to, nasa Malaysia na tong mga to eh. But let's just join a couple of this one. Couple of groups. So BYD, meron bang BYD dito? Na group. Now, you might think medyo biased ako sa BYD. It's just because ayun nga, they have a larger network of mga kasa and dealers for this one. But let's just also go with Tesla. Hindi ko naman sinasabing we can just concentrate on Tesla. So let's join also or concentrate on BYD. Let's join also Tesla. Tesla Philippines, yan. I think we can also go with Wuling if, let's see, why do you want to join Tesla? Okay, planning to get an EV vehicle. What is your favorite Tesla and why? Um, uh, Tesla models. Let's. Well, para sa akin, for me, personally ko lang to, personal opinion ko, I'm not really fond of Tesla because of the price. Um, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just that for the premise of going into electric vehicles, the price of the Tesla is not that attractive to me. Masaya na ako na I'm just new in the EV space or a new EV user. So, let's see kung ano yung mga models na meron si Tesla right now. So, vehicles, Model 3, Model S, Model Y, Model X, inventory, Cybertruck. So, let's just go with the Model Y. I think ito yata yung mas madalang ko na, mas madalas ko nakikita ngayon. Model Y because of the price. Yeah. Sometime in the future, yes, why not? Okay. And yan. So let's just go with yung Philippine EV Group. And ang gagawin ko lang dito is basically browse the group itself. Ano yung mga problems nila when having in owning an EV vehicle. During our trip to Pasig to Pangasinan to Baguio, 5-day-old seagull. Charge at Opus Mall, Pasig to Urdaneta, charge at home Urdaneta 4 hours sleep, then Urdaneta, done charging. So probably I'll speed this up kasi it's going to be a long research and you really need to be very very concrete sa idea mo na yung idea natin for our startup, building a charging infrastructure is really worth pursuing into. Okay. To Baguio. Okay. Well, travel first time via EV from NCR to Baguio. Kindly help for suggestions on my travel. Where to charge Tarpapol? Okay na Baguio na lang diretso. Also, another validation of our idea. Okay, so they're having mag-charge sa Cel Rosario bago umakyat. Yun na rin yung gagamitin mo panggala sa Baguio. Pababa ka rin ng Baguio, maladagdagan charge mo ng 6 to 7%. Kasi puro pababa, then charge ka ulit sa Cel Rosario bago umuwi. Ganyan ginawa ko nung nag-Baguio kami. Aside from Shell Rosario, the best talaga na place that you're staying has available charge or at least allow you to charge with pay. Better if none. Magastos sa charge sa Baguio due to the train. Charging to AC chargers for at least that I know, ubos oras, sayang oras. Okay. So, another validation. Yan. Another concern nila, how to tell the health of the battery. Okay. Vehicle to grid. Okay, so I've been reading also vehicle to grid, and it's a very nice concept. Abot pa kaya ang traffic Valenzuela to Makati, Baguio Balican GBT? Abot yan, na-try ko na 0 SOC, tumakbo ko ng 5 kilometers to reach home. Punta ka SM charging station, kaya lang siguro nakatambay ka doon. Okay. So, marami tayong pwedeng basahin dito while the AIs are cooking. So, I think, tapos na yata sila eh. Ayan. The earlier analysis, please clarify, do you want to focus on both private and commercial EV ownership or just private use? So, let's just try private. Concentrate on private and commercial. Okay. Are you looking for insights specific to certain regions in the Philippines? Whole of Philippines. So the analysis include both battery electric BEVs, hybrids, or focus solely. Let's just focus on BEVs right now. Kasi, ayun nga, for me, I want a full battery EV. So let's just cook. Let that cook. And Google Gemini is also cooking. And Claude is also cooking. So doing extensive research. Same also with Perplexity. So I really like Perplexity, by the way, because it's a very fast AI model for researching a lot of stuff. Yun talaga ang specialty ni Perplexity. So I need to research all of this one. So ipopost ko muna yung video and ayun nga. I'll try to grab some coffee and coffee muna tayo. I think ubos na yung kape ko. So marami tayong kailangan i-research. So yun na muna. I'll probably do a time-lapse video. Okay, and read all of the results here. Okay, so ayun, tapos na tayo with the research and I used all the 4 biggest models and let me just share my screen here. So ayun nga. So medyo marami rin ako nabasa rito tungkol dun sa challenges on EV infrastructure, range anxiety. So medyo marami ring nilabas ng mga researches that I have to go through. For some of this one, medyo nakompleto ko naman siguro mga around 90% of the reading. I still have to go through some of the websites here na sinite ng mga AI natin. So, yeah. So, here are the reports. But to summarize everything, I've come up with so gumamit ako ng Excel sheet. Okay. For this one. So, ito yung nakita ko. So, the main problem right now is, yung number one na lumalabas doon sa research natin is infrastructure scarcity and severity and severe geographic disparity. So, this is more on the charging infrastructure. Kasi as of the moment, 992, actually, I went to the DOE website kanina. I think there are more already. There are more charging stations already. So around 1,159. So merong website sa Department of Energy tungkol sa electric vehicles. And I've gone through that one. Pero ayun nga, one of the more pressing concern is that yung 1,000 chargers na yun, almost 80% of them are located in Metro Manila. So paglabas mo ng Baguio, or paglabas mo ng Metro Manila or nearby provinces, you already have something called yung tinatawag nilang range anxiety. Kasi hindi mo na alam kung saan ka pwede mag-charge ng sasakyan mo. Which is itong nakita kong isang problema. Persistent high upfront acquisition cost. Ayun nga, medyo mahal ang EVs because of it's a brand new technology. And hindi mas mura pa rin based on from my research mas mura pa rin yung gas and diesel powered units, but hopefully in the future they will have some price slashes for this one as the adoption of electric vehicles goes up. Ano pa? Grid resilience and decarbonization lag. So isang concern ng about EV charging is that since we're still sa Philippines, we're still using coal power. And kokonti pa lang yung percentage ng renewable energy sa atin. Sabi nila Ganon din eh. Even if naka-electric vehicle ka, you're still using coal power at the end of the day, which is a not so friendly way of generating electricity. So, yun. I've also read on some of the studies here now. You can actually charge your electric vehicle using solar. Pero it's going to be another investment on the EV user itself. So, bumili ka na sasakyan, you have to invest also on your solar setup sa bahay mo for you to be able to get advantage on lower costs to absolutely free energy to charge your electric vehicle. But again, the problem still exists. Paglabas mo ng bahay mo after a full charge or you want to go to a very long drive or a very far away place, ang problema mo na is the charging itself. So, ayan, number 5, lack of transparent battery replacement. So, it's an economic and risk. Kasi, ayun nga, once you have a defective battery or pag nabangga yung sasakyan mo na EV, you have to replace the battery if there's damage on the battery itself. And magkano ang magiging costing nun? Yun ang isang malaking question ngayon for EV users. Another angle for this one is, if ever man walang nangyari sa battery mo, and yung battery mo, sabi nila, lasts around 10 to 15 years, but what happens after that 15 years? What will happen to your battery? How will we dispose of it? So, yun yung isa nakita ko on the evaluation. And, ayun din, very slow yung uptake ng LGUs natin in terms of implementation and adoption ng electric vehicles. So, even though meron tayong tinatawag na Evida, where's that one? Yung situation na yan eh. So, meron tayong Evida law na nakalagay dito. It's on the Department of Energy website. You can read more about that policy. Nasaan ba yan? Yan, yung implementing guidelines, Republic Act, and other things that we can read more on this one. Pero yun, slow uptake on the Evida law in terms of LGUs. And then, yun din. Another thing na nakita ko on our research is yung halos lahat ng EVs natin are all imported. And where they're coming from, majority is from China. So, yeah, supply chain. So, alam niyo naman yung issue with the China-Philippines ngayon. So, it's prone for disruption if ever something happens. Wag naman sana. Okay. So, and another one is high cost ng financing and auto loan rate volatility. So, I can't really do anything about this one because this is something economic. It's much more bigger. But I think this can be another startup idea. And another one is standard and interoperability charging gaps. So, ito hindi naman na masyadong problema because based on my reading, we have adopted yung mga sinaunang charge EVs natin was using CHAdeMO and GPT. Pero recently we've finalized nung na-finalize yung Evida law, ang standard na natin for the Philippines is CCS2 and Type 2. So CCS2 for DC and AC Type 2 chargers, plugs. So halos lahat ng sasakyan na EV ngayon sa Pilipinas is using these two types of chargers. Interoperable to. Very, very limited na lang yung mga GBTs natin. Kasi ito yung mga sinaunang, nung hindi pa masyadong implemented ang EV vehicle sa Pilipinas, ito yung mga sinaunang imports natin. But since the law has already standardized na CCS2 Type 2 ang gagamitin, so, yun na, kailangan gumamit daw ng adapters. And then number 10, low consumer trust and awareness for emerging brands. Since, alam niyo naman, ingrained sa mga Pilipino, mahilig tayo sa sasakyan. And, yung mga nakasanayan nating brands, like yung mga Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, karamihan ng mga sasakyan ngayon na EVs are coming from China and the US, yung Tesla. So, mayroon tayong mga Wuling, BYD. I'm not saying that they are bad. It's just that, yun nga, nasanay tayo with the homegrown, not really homegrown, the big brands, mga Toyota, mga ganun. Nasanay tayo for a couple of decades already. And subok na natin yung mga brands na to. And now we are trying to adopt to new brands. So, ayun, medyo may hesitation coming from EV users and regular users who wants to buy EVs. Yan. So, yun ang nakikita ko. So, now that we have a list of problems and trends, ang next natin kailangan gawin is, syempre, yung naisip ko during my drive is this one. Okay? This one. Green natin ito. Highlight natin green. Yung infrastructure and severe geographic disparity. So, yan yung primary topic ko. So, now that we have a list of problems and trends that we have researched, and really, at the end of the day, if we can solve this, we can build a business around it. So, we have to vote. Okay? Now, if you have a team of startup founders or friends who wants to tackle this problem, hindi yung mamimili na lang tayo ng isa and just go with it. We have to do a vote. Okay. For me, since mag-isa ko pa lang ngayon, I don't really have an extra team member with me right now. So, I'm going to vote on the topics. So, ang play nito is each team member will have 10 votes and they need to vote all of those 10 on each all of those numbers for the problems that they think is worth solving. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin nun? I'll just demo it to you right now para hindi kayo maguluhan. So, for me, I have, I'm going to go with 4 votes sa infrastructure kasi I really think that is very important right now. And, yun nga, range anxiety is 3. High upfront cost ng acquisition ng EV, not really. Wala ako masyadong control dito because this is controlled by the manufacturers and the distributors. Grid resilience and decarbonization, yeah, I think magandang topic to. Lack of transparent battery, yes, for me. Fragmented LGU, very early pa rin ang adoption ng EVs eh. So, I think it's going to take time for this one. Import dependency, wala akong magagawa dito kasi we really don't have any manufacturing of EVs right now in the Philippines. High cost of financing, wala eh. Standardization of interoperability gaps, hindi na kailangang ayusin to because of what I've said. Nag-standardize na tayo with CCS2 and Type 2. And low consumer trust awareness in emerging brands. This is more of a marketing solution that the brands need to address really quite well. So, yan. 5, 3, 1, 1. So, kulang pa ako ng... So, I have to choose dito. So, right now, since ako, nag-iisa pa lang akong team member, so ang number 1 primary problem that I want to solve is ito nga, yung infrastructure scarcity. So, kasi this is the one that's top of the list. So, this is the most pressing matter for me. Because, yan. Persistent high upfront cost range and extended charging anxiety. Kasi if I solve, para sa akin if I solve the infrastructure problem, this automatically solves itself already. Yung range and anxiety. And I think I need to lower this one kasi it's related to the main problem. 1. So I think 2 and 2. So these are so grid resilience and decarbonization. So that's another topic that we can explore on. So let's put the yellow here. And lack of transparent battery replacement disposal framework. So yeah. So that's it. That's how you choose or do your ideation. How do you evaluate yung problems and trends that we have for our start? Okay, so meron tayong criteria that we have to actually also answer for this question. So, for you to be able to choose the correct voting here, you also have to, or the correct numbers or votes that you want to apply for each specific problem, you also have to consider these types of questions. So, for me, in terms of yung sa infrastructure scarcity and severity ng charging infrastructure natin, is this problem currently sufficiently addressed? As you have seen in my previous video, it's no. Okay, there's no real and no satisfying solution to the problem. How many people are affected by this problem in your market? A ton. Really, ang dami. Ang daming gustong gumamit ng EV. It's just that based on my research, they're very hesitant because of the charging infrastructure and yung range anxiety nga. So again, is there growth potential in the market? Yes. Based on my research, I think um, the number of EV vehicles is coming up. In 2025 alone, I think there is around 20,000 EVs already. 2024, based on my research kay ChatGPT, ano ba yun? Based on my researches here, um, yung uptick ng EV vehicles, let me just, ayun no. So, registrations are surging from 214 units in 2019 to 29,715 in the first 7 months of 2025 alone. So, ang laki ng potential ng market. Okay. So, how painful is the problem? Ayun nga, malaking problema to because if we cannot solve the charging infrastructure problem, wala masyadong mapupuntahan yung EVs ninyo or EVs natin. Okay? So would people believe that this founding team are the right people to tackle the problem? So I'll answer this one towards the last part of this video. So do you as the founding team feel comfortable addressing this problem or a lot of experience with this fear? Again, there's a question that we can use to answer this one. And how often does the problem have to be solved? It just need to be solved once. So isa lang yung effort natin. So, okay. So, ito yung criteria natin for the assessment before you do the voting. Okay, for these topics. So for me, I've run through this criteria and yun nga, ang number one problem talaga natin right now is yung infrastructure on where to charge our electric vehicles. Okay, so nagdagdag ako dito nung towards the last part of our assessment. 3 ways to evaluate your legitimacy as the founder. Are you able to solve this problem as the founder itself? So, are you an industry expert and know the newest trends? For me, it's yes. Or are you an outsider with some touch on the industry you are tackling, but this outside perspective helps you think outside of the box? So, yes, probably. And are you addressing the problem you faced yourself? And that's a big yes for me. So, legitimacy for me to be able to solve this. So, ayun nga, I'm a data center specialist and professional. So, I'm also an IT solutions architect for the last 20 years. So, nag-build na ako ng data centers, nag-build ako ng computer networks. I'm also a certified cloud engineer. So I've done cloud, I've done apps, I've done coding. And ayun nga, although I'm an outsider because really ang forte ko is IT. And this is more on an engineering aspect of it. And ayun nga, graduate naman ako ng computer engineering eh. And I've talked with and worked with engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, electronics and communications engineers during the last 20 years of the stint of me being an IT professional. I think I have a grasp of not really a grasp. I'm not a certified engineer naman per se. Pero I have a grasp of what is needed to solve this problem. Even though I'm an outsider, I don't own an EV vehicle yet. Okay, but I think I can solve this. And yeah, and the third questionnaire you're addressing the problem you faced yourself, which is a big yes. Gusto ko ng electric vehicle. It's just that I don't know where to charge it. So might as well build the charging infrastructure for it. So, ayan. And ayun nga, last one. Do you, as the founding team, feel comfortable addressing this problem or a lot of experience in the sphere? Definitely yes. And I'm comfortable with trying to solve this problem. So yun lang. That's it, guys. That's our video number 2 or episode number 2 of our Startup 101. So I'm trying to build my very own startup and actually showing it to you guys also how I built it step by step. Okay? So yun lang muna for this video. See you on the next one.